Hey guys, I got a nice package here from Amazon, and it's 2 pieces of LokBuild, which is going to go on the, actually on my CR10 and on my FT5, it's going to go on the build plate. That's going to give better adhesion and a few other little perks, so let's take a look at it and see how it works. Hey guys, it's Paul, and let's crack this open. This is kind of a lot of box for basically these 2 pieces here. And let me turn this over to the cat, which she'll thoroughly enjoy it. And wow, it's got a neat little smell to it too. So how I found this was I had seen a few comments from other people with the CR10 and the FT5 and those Facebook groups, and some people have been trying to find ways to get better print adhesion. So what they were looking for was a means to get some of their prints that were relatively tricky because of the way the shape of the part. Say they had something that didn't have a lot of surface area on the print bed as they printed it, and some of those are a real challenge to print using hairspray or PVA. So these sheets, and these guys ran me $29.99 each, supposed to do an exceptionally good job for that. As a matter of fact, what really caught my eye on their website, they used to be a Kickstarter, and they were fully funded, and they got the product to market very quickly. But what's interesting is they're saying for PLA, you don't need to heat the bed. Now, I don't believe that completely. Well, let's put it this way. With my luck, I'm not going to do that. I'm still going to heat the bed to 60 and what have you. There's not a lot of reviews on this material, and I had seen one review on YouTube where one of the guys had said, look, if you're dealing with big prints, you don't want to use this. You want to take your glass bed and flip it over and print it on the glass, because the adhesion is so good, it's literally impossible to get that print off of there. Now, with the prints we're doing, with the triangles and stuff like that for BB-8, I've had, in the half circles and the full circles, I've had 1 or 2 prints where even though they're fully covered in PVA glue or the other printer, all kinds of extra hold hairspray, they still manage to lift a little bit. And of course, if they lift a little bit and these 2 pieces have to go together, it's just, you've just thrown away 3 days of printing. So I don't want to do that. So for the stuff that's going to be printed over the next couple of days, namely triangles and circles and half circles for BB-8's body panels, I'm really interested to see how this works. So the next step I have to do is, boy, this has an odor to it. Can't put my finger on what it is. It's definitely a very plasticky smell. But the next step is I got to take the glass bed out of the CR10. It's full of PVA and hairspray, and what I need to do is clean that up. And with the FT5, I got to do the exact same thing. I clean that mirror off, and once everything's good and dry, just take the big decal off the back and apply it on there. The FT5, the mirror is 13.3 inches because the heated bed is bigger than the print area. So what I need to do is I need to be really careful about how I center this up on the mirror. On the CR10, it's a 12 by 12 print surface, so it's just going to cover the entire bed. So that'll be easy. So let's go clean these. Let's go clean the glass and clean the mirror, and then we'll get the camera over there and we'll show you how to apply it to the bed. Okay, so welcome to my fabulous kitchen. So what I've done, I got the glass sitting on top of a towel here because I don't want it to move around while I'm doing this. Cleaned it with dish soap, gave it a thorough rinse, and then when it was dry, I went across with some Windex, and that's when all cleaned up. Everything is nice and dry and not making any squeaky sounds anymore. I don't see anything. It's on the other side, it looks like. So, and it looks like my CR10 bed is slightly bigger than the sticker is here. So we'll just have to see how that goes. All right, so now let's peel this sucker off and I mean, it's a big decal, right? How hard can it be? Alright, there's that. And let's just make sure. At least it gives me a couple second chances here. I'm just trying to make sure I get it right along that front edge. I am. Takes a couple tries here to get it right where I want it here. I should have something hard plastic to push across this here just to make sure. I think we're going to be fine. So as you can see, I got a little bit of space in the back here, and the sides are pretty good. But we will see soon enough if that causes any distress or not. So there's that one. Okay, now this is the mirror for the FT5, and I'm trying to center up. So what I have done, without putting the mirror in your face, I've tried to put a few little edges here that kind of tell me, because really the only way to do this properly is to really kind of just eyeball it, because once it's in the FT5, I can always slide the glass back and forth or to the side and then clamp it in place if I do have this wrong. Alright, so that's a good clean surface. Of course, the drawback I have here with the FT5 is that's kind of an open question. I've had a real struggle with the FT5. But with the CR10, if I decide I want to print on glass, I can just flip it over. Obviously with the mirror, I can't do that. I do, however, have a 300 by 300 piece of glass that I ordered with the FT5. So if I have to go to glass, I can use that. Alright, I made these little marks here and here. And its tendency is it just wants to lay it right down. I don't, it's interesting because I know with other materials, you get to worry about air bubbles and stuff like that. This doesn't have any of that. It's a thicker material, so I don't know what it's made of precisely, but I think that'll be all right. So as you can see, as best I could, it's pretty well centered up on this kind of oversized. I tried to match this up to be the exact same size as the aluminum heated bed. So there they are. I got some trash here to throw away, but we'll give those a try next. All right, so let's fast forward a month, and as you can see, the shirt's changed and the hair's changed a little bit. So we've had LokBuild now for going on just over a month, and as I showed you previously how to apply it onto the bed, I got a couple things I can show you. Here in this picture, I did a print, basically it looks like a small little spoon, and what I did is I put it at an angle so that it would have very, very little of the spoon touching the build plate, and I wanted to test how good the hold was while it printed the rest of that spoon, and it did a fantastic job. It did a great job. Now, as someone else had mentioned on one of the other reviews I had read, someone had said that on stuff like that, no problem, but on prints that have a lot of material touching the build plate, it's going to be really hard to remove the print from the table, from the print bed, and that is indeed proven to be true. So I've noticed, as you'll see in this little clip right here, that I printed a cover for the CR10 extruder, and the printer did a wonderful job printing it, but when I was trying to remove it from the bed, whether it was slightly warm or cold, I mean, you really had to hammer the thing off. So, you know, unfortunately, it peeled up the first layer, and I also have here in my hand, I did a cube, and I don't know how well I can zoom in on this, but the first layer peeled up. And I've been doing a lot of test prints on the FT5. I'm still tuning that printer in, and to remove all of these blocks, I've literally had to use the end of the spatula to knock them free. So I haven't done any of my big BB-8 prints in a little while. I know the stuff like the triangles and stuff like that are going to be superb for LokBuild because there's not a lot of surface area holding that piece down. You don't want any warping. So I think for that, the LokBuild is going to work very, very well. If you have stuff that has a lot of surface area on the print, I think you're going to find LokBuild really frustrating because it has really good hold. If you go to their website, they talk about heating up the build plate and trying to remove it as well. So, you know, your mileage may vary. Again, this is my opinion. This is my review. I bought the stuff, so I wasn't being sponsored or anything like that. For stuff that you know is going to be tricky to stay on the bed, I think LokBuild is going to work really well for you, depending on how much of that surface area is on the bed. For example, you know, one of the triangle pieces on BB-8, or if you're not a BB-8 builder and have no idea what I'm talking about, just larger prints that have a lot of surface area on the build plate. I think you might be better served, you know, giving another go with hairspray or, you know, taking a diluted wood glue solution and drying that on the bed to help hold things down. LokBuild is almost a little bit too aggressive on those. Now, on the other hand, the CR10 is notoriously difficult to level. And I found that adding the LokBuild to the surface of the CR10 bed made leveling way easier because you had a little bit more margin for error as far as leveling the bed with LokBuild. On the FT5, using it on the mirror, that's worked very, very well too. That melamine bed is notorious for being a little bit warpy. And I've had to do a few additional bed alignments here and there, but again, I've noticed with the LokBuild it's not nearly as bad. So the takeaway on this again is if you're going to be printing stuff that's going to be huge and has a big footprint on the bed, LokBuild is going to be really tough to let go of your print, unless you would like hammering away at it trying to get it off like I did. For more intricate things that have some really weird shapes and stuff like that, the stuff's outstanding. So I think it's a good tool to have in your toolbox of 3D printing tools. And again, you're not talking a tremendous amount of money, and it does do exactly what it says it will do. So that's my mini review of LokBuild. Sorry the video ran a little bit long. I wanted to show everyone how it goes on and the whole bit. Again, thanks for tuning in, and remember, this is where nerdy is cool.